what up y'all, Mr. Cruz here, the littest teacher you never had, back with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about a little kind of a counter to a previous video that I had posted about my top 3 favorite plugins, but they were specifically my creation plugins. So like something with an instrument. I think one of them was a sampler, a drum sequencer, and then a synth. These are going to be my top 3 effect plugins. So if you use Reason, 2 of these come stock in Reason, so you'll have access to these like right out the box. One of them I actually got for free with on a deal on Plugin Boutique, but it usually goes on sale for like pretty cheap. So if you don't have it and you like what you see, then you can probably purchase it for, I don't know, 20 bucks or something. I don't know how much it goes for. I got it for free as part of a deal, or as part of some promotion. But let's go ahead and dive in and check these out. All right, so what I have here, shameless plug, is a loop from one of my MIDI loop packs. So I'm going to give you a little bit of an example of some of the plugins that I have that I use very frequently. So let's first start out by taking a listen to this loop. Granted, I don't have all the other instruments in there, but trust me, it sounds dope with everything else in there. But you can go ahead and check that out over on my website. The link is in my description below. All right, so for starters, I have the Audiomatic Retro Transformer. Yo, I throw this thing anytime like I'm trying to spice something up. If like I feel like a loop or an instrument or something is missing a certain kind of character, this thing is usually my go-to. Not just because, well, because you have access to a whole bunch of different type of, like, I guess you would call them presets. Yeah, they're kind of presets that you can already dive into. I even use it sometimes for tape saturation, like just crank that thing up and you get some pretty dope tape saturation. But one of my favorite things are usually like the ones down here. So Psych, Cracked, and Gadget. Eerie, I don't remember Eerie, but these are usually the ones that I use most often because they just sound pretty dope. So let's go ahead and take a listen to these. I just kind of wanted to go through some of the presets that I use very often, where it kind of limits. I say this like it limits what you can do, but I don't mean that in a bad way, because it really, when something is limited, in this case, like you literally have what, 4 knobs if you include this one, 4 knobs in order to like do stuff. This doesn't really count that much because it's a gain knob and this is a volume knob. So what you're really left with is these 2 right here, the transform knob and then the dry wet knob, between bringing in the dry signal and then the fully wet signal of whatever preset you're using. But in my opinion, limitations are good because it forces you to exercise other creative aspects. If you're limited and you can still create something good, that really shows a lot of your skill. But again, I like this because, I mean, to me, Psych is like my favorite thing, and then probably Gadget is the ones that I use pretty frequently, and I usually crank that transform knob so I get a fully wet signal of whatever it is that I'm using there. But again, one of my favorite things to use frequently. Next, we got Unison. So Unison is a detuner, which, you get detuners in a lot of things. So I guess this one isn't necessarily a highlight of this effect of the Unison or the UN16, but more so just of the Unison effect. Like, I love it. One of the things that I've been doing recently is throwing it on my 808s, and it really adds nice, crispy, subtle distortion, but also a lot more width and high end to like your 808s. And again, you probably wouldn't think that to throw a detuner on the 808, but yo, try it out and trust me, you're gonna like it. But let's check out this one. I mean, to me, I just really like the sound of a detuner and like what it does to an instrument or what it does to an audiophile. Just kind of like that multiplication of that file or of that sound, and then like the duplication. It's just, to me, it's crazy. And like, to me, I hear, when I use a detuner, I hear a lot more width in whatever instrument or whatever track I'm applying that effect on. Last one's kind of boring. I don't want to say it's boring, but it's Neutron Elements from Isotope. Now, I mean, Isotope makes great stuff. I mean, I'd say they probably make some of the best stuff out there. But Neutron Elements, I actually got it for free as part of a promotion, as I had mentioned on Plugin Boutique. It was like, buy something and then you get this for free. So I think I bought like a sample pack for like $4, and then I got this for free. And no lie, this was exactly what I was needing, because in Reason, you have your M-Class mixer. You have your M-Class EQ, you have your parametric EQ, and then you have the SSL EQ. So the only problem that I really run into is like, I don't like using the M-Class. I feel like it's trash. Like, the sound that it produces is whack. Parametric doesn't give you a whole lot of flexibility, because most of the times you're going to throw a filter, and then you're going to need at least one other band to be able to manipulate. Two, I would say maybe two at the most. For the most part. But the thing is that the parametric EQ is the only one that will allow you to make like surgical incisions, surgical cuts like this.
Coronavirus!
To me, the SSL sounds great, but it doesn't give you like the flexibility to be able to, change just like the shape and the character of the EQ that you're using. Even with the filters, all right, if you're throwing a low cut filter, like to be able to, change the slope of it, that's also something that's immensely helpful to be able to do when you get to that point. And not to mention, like, this doesn't just come with an EQ, but it comes with a compressor, an exciter, which I've never used, and a transient shaper, which I've also never used. The EQ and the compressor are phenomenal. To me, this compressor beats out any compressor that Reason comes with stock. Maybe except for Pulverizer. Pulverizer is dope, but it's dope for a different reason. This one, it's just like, it's concise and it's so precise, and I love it. But anyway, I mean, you've heard an EQ, you know what an EQ does, so there's no point in kind of showing you an example. But again, the reason why I like this is because you can make those really finite, really precise cuts whenever you need to. But anyways, that's what I got for you guys today. Hopefully it's something that you guys learned, or something, highlighted a different aspect of one of these plugins that you've never heard or seen before. Like, I would encourage you, if you walk away with anything from this, is try throwing the UN16 on an 808. You will not be disappointed. Outside of that, if you guys can do me two favors, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Do all that jazz below. And make sure you're following me over on social media. The links to my social media sites are all in the description below. But on top of that, the second favor that I want you guys to do for me is go check out my MIDI pack. I have a free sample that you can go and download from my website that gives you about four loops with the MIDI files accompanying those loops. And if you like what you hear, maybe you want to go in and check out the rest of the loop pack, the MIDI loop pack, and that's at a discounted price of $7. So, and again, for this example, I used one of the loops from my loop pack. And even though it didn't sound pretty good, bare bones, but you see how when we added an effect, it really brought a lot of character to it. So anyways, go ahead and check that out if you guys want to. At least go ahead and get yourself like the free sample pack, because that's just my free gift to you guys, because I got so much love for y'all. And thank you guys for watching. Outside of that, it's your boy, Mr. Cruz, out.